I am about to have the best reader staycation known to man. I found out today that I have the next 3 days off of work because of snow. I don't live in an area that gets a lot of snow, so a little bit of snow cancels school, but we are about to get anywhere from 6 to 12 inches, which is unheard of for my area. So this constitutes a lot of snow days, 1, reading, 2. So today's Tuesday, I've got the next 3 days off of work and then obviously the weekend, so that's at least 5 days. As long as, you know, our power stays on and everything is good with that, I am so excited. It's already freezing, as you can tell. I've got my giant Snuggie thing on. I just thought this would be the perfect opportunity to do a reading vlog because the vibes are going to be so good. I'm so excited. It hasn't started snowing yet. It's supposed to start very early tomorrow morning and snow pretty much all day Wednesday and Thursday. So let me tell you what I'm reading now and let's think about our plans for the upcoming days. Currently, I'm reading Where'd You Go, Bernadette? I've never read this book before. I love the movie. Years ago, my mom and my aunt read the book and then we went and watched the movie and I loved the movie. It really spoke to me. I ugly cried in the theater unexpectedly. I was very much looking forward to reading this. I felt like this was a good timing because they go to Antarctica in this book. I don't know, with the snow and the cold, I just thought it was appropriate. So I didn't feel like I did a good job giving you a synopsis yesterday, so I'm gonna redo it right now. Where'd You Go, Bernadette is about Bernadette Fox, who at one time was a really new wave, accomplished architect, was really good at her job, and then all of a sudden she stopped doing architecture. Now she's like a recluse. She lives in Seattle. She doesn't go anywhere. She doesn't do anything. She's agoraphobic. She has a lot of anxiety about going out. We find out in the very beginning of the book that Bernadette takes off, goes missing, leaves. And this book is told from her daughter's perspective, trying to piece together what happened to her mom to make her leave. So you're reading from B, her daughter's perspective, through her verbal accounts, through emails, through interviews, trying to piece her mom's story together. The catalyst event seems to be that they were supposed to go to Antarctica. B was promised that she could do anything she wanted if she got good grades all through school, so she chose a trip to Antarctica. Because Bernadette's agoraphobic, she has a lot of anxiety around going to Antarctica. So there's a lot of erratic behavior that starts happening. She gets in contact with a virtual assistant to start handling everything for her. Her relationships with her husband and the people in her community deteriorate until she takes off. It's B's job to figure out what happened to her. I'm about 35% of the way through, really enjoying it so far. I want to finish this, I'm hoping tomorrow. It's not very long, it's only about 300 pages. It's pretty fast paced. I've just been having a problem staying up, and it's not because the book isn't good, it's because I literally can't keep my eyes open. The last 2 nights I've intended to continue reading and I just physically can't. I just fall asleep. Last night I literally fell asleep with my Kindle in hand. I was also able to get the Libby ebook copy, so I've been able to read this during the day and this at night, which is so bougie. It feels so luxurious because I love the feel of a physical book, but I hate that I can't lay on my side in bed with a physical book. So having both has been blissful. After finishing Where'd You Go, Bernadette, I want to read First Time Caller, which was my book of the month pick for this month. This cover is gorgeous. Everything I've heard about this book has been fantastic. I'm so looking forward to reading this. It is long. I think it's like 450 pages. 420. That's not horrible. That is long for a romance though, I feel like. But I'm excited about it. I've heard wonderful things. And I feel like I need a romance because I've read a thriller, a memoir, and now this is like, do you call it literary fiction? I don't know when to call it, just fiction versus literary fiction. But I feel like a romance will be much needed after these. Then after that, or during that at the same time, I want to read the short, what is this called? Not a short story, but a novella, Killjoy by Holly Jackson. This is in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder universe. I'm not sure exactly where it takes place within that timeline. Once we get to this, I'll let you know. But I thought it would be fun to do a quick novella, and I love this series, so that's a lot of reading for me. I'm a slow reader, but first priority is finishing Where'd You Go, Bernadette. I'm gonna hop into bed and read this until I fall asleep. It's the next day. I stayed up last night reading, woke up early this morning and read. There's no snow yet. I'm interested to see how much we'll get because depending on what model you look at, we could get anything from 4 to 12 inches. So hasn't started yet and it's like 11 o'clock. So I think it's supposed to start around 1. So I will keep you updated on our snow. As for the book, I am on page 200 and I'm very much enjoying it. I don't remember in the movie Bernadette's husband being quite so negative, I guess. I feel like she just needs a therapist. She needs someone to talk to her. No one's really speaking to her, and I think Bernadette's also afraid to talk. But I don't remember her husband being so negative, I guess. I don't feel their closeness that I felt in the movie, and that just might be my misremembering. It could be just who played them in the movies. But I don't remember feeling like the disconnect in their marriage that I feel in this book. I feel like LG really respected his wife, and I don't really feel that as much in the book. I am enjoying it, and I think that they captured Bernadette in the movie super well, like her dry sense of humor, her outlook on life, her and B's closeness. I think they got all of that so well, and that's what I'm really enjoying about this book. And also just how it's told, like the fact that it's told through interviews and emails and such, I think is a really unique way to tell a story, and I'm really enjoying that. I do think some of like the language and negativity is a little outdated, but I do have a lot of sympathy for Bernadette. I don't know why, really. I just feel connected to her character. I think she's just super cool, and I appreciate the fact that she lives life to the beat of her own drum. She doesn't really care what others think of her, and I think that's my problem with LG in the book, is that bothers him. It's like, did you not know who you married? I don't know. I'm interested to see where it'll go. I just got to the part where she's officially disappeared. I think I said in the beginning, the end of the movie made me cry. So I'm interested to see if the book has that same effect, if it's able to capture that unbridled joy feeling like the movie did for me. I also am not, like, I knew like her situation was serious in the movie, but I feel like in the book it's made very clear like she is sick by multiple points of view, and maybe it's because I've seen the movie, maybe it's because I'm young, I don't know. I just, yes, she needs help, but like we're talking like psychiatric holds levels of help, and to me that's a bit extreme for her. I don't know. I think we'll get some clarification about that in the book because I feel like there's a lot of differing medical opinions based on what they should do. But I love Bernadette. I just love her. The fact that she's imperfect and she knows that and she doesn't care. I do think a therapist would go a long way for her, but I love her. I love B. I want some karma to happen to the Nats from the Gaylor Street School, which is the private school that B goes to. You read a lot of emails from the 2 moms that are like most involved in the community, and they're super annoying. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes and if it differs from the movie, and I might watch the movie. I mean, I'm having a snow weekend, so I may as well indulge in the movie if it's on streaming. So far I recommend this book. I think it's like just super unique. Like, I haven't read a lot of books, but I've never read a book like this, so I will keep you updated. I probably will finish today. I only have like a little over 100 pages left, so I should be able to finish today, and I'll let you know what my final thoughts are. Okay, so a few hours later, of all of the feelings I thought this book would give me, or all of my reactions, I did not think irritability and hatred would be one of them. I'm so annoyed. I'm not done yet, but her husband is totally different in the book than in the movie, and I'm irritated about it. He is so unlikable. It's unreal, and I hope they don't stay together, because a strong woman, though going through hard times, should be supported. The way he antagonizes her and takes it out on their daughter is disgusting. There's a lot more extra stuff with the Gaylor Street moms that's not in the movie, which was annoying me, but I do think it's now like making sense why it's in there, and I'm actually starting to enjoy the role reversal, which I will leave it at that. That was an unexpected surprise. That's actually a pleasant thing to read, unlike anything from the husband's point of view. I'm still loving B. She is very mad at her dad, rightfully so, and she's giving it to him, and I'm obsessed. They're on their way to Antarctica. They still don't know where she is. We haven't heard Bernadette's perspective in a while because she's been missing for a few weeks. I'm excited to have her back because she's funny, she's interesting. Her husband is not. We've got about maybe an inch of snow. The projections dropped to like 4 to 5 inches, and now they're raising back to like 6 to 7, which I'm surprised because it's slowed down a lot. Like, it's still consistently snowing, but like the volume is a lot less. I was mentally prepared for up to 10, so I'm down for that. So I put on some cozy ambiance. I've got some popcorn over there, some water. I'm gonna lay in my bed and read this, hoping to finish it in this sitting. Hi, I finished Where'd You Go, Bernadette? I had a hard time reading this actually, which is not something I usually struggle with. I think it's because I love the movie so much, and so when you don't love the book as much, which is an uncommon feeling, you're like, oh, something's wrong. I also feel like I try to do whole star ratings just because of Goodreads. This book is definitely not, it's not conducive to that rating scale. So let's get into it. So I've already given you a synopsis. Overall, I did enjoy it. I don't think it's something I would read again. I definitely would watch the movie again though, because most of my problems with the book are not part of the movie. So things I liked how the story is told through emails, interviews, conversations from her daughter's perspective. I think that was a really cool storytelling choice. I think it worked really well, and the reveal of why it's being done that way was really interesting. It wasn't like that in the movie, so I actually liked that aspect of it. I loved Bea and Bernadette. They are genius, intelligent, passionate women, and I'm obsessed with that. Bernadette is so cool. She's so different. She's so herself. Yes, she does struggle a little bit, but right at the like climax of the book, she does that check-in with herself. Nobody takes that well, they try to take that agency from her, but I just love Bernadette, and I think the movie does a better job at letting you love her. Like, I feel like the book villainizes her a little bit because you hear a lot more from the husband, which we'll get to him. I just love Bernadette. I think she's cool. I think she's awesome. I love that this whole thing culminates in her finding her passion again, which again I feel like translated a little bit better in the movie, but overall I still enjoyed it, and I love that that passion was found in the outdoors. I love to travel. I think it's so powerful, and so to feel that feeling from a book in a movie, I just love that, and I think that is what makes me cry in the movie. That feeling of falling so deeply in love with a place. Anyway, on to what I did not love. I cannot stand her husband. Like, I hate him with a passion. Through the whole book, he makes so many disgusting choices that are in his best interest and only his best interest. I don't like the way he speaks to other people. I don't like the way he treats other people. I don't like that he knew he married someone different, and at the time that was cool, and now that it's not conducive to his lifestyle, he is like resentful of her. Ugh, I can't stand that. I did, however, ended up liking the Gaylor Street moms. I think their stories reversed in an interesting way and had an interesting effect on the plot that I don't recall from the movie but could be in there. I was a little disappointed that I felt like the ending was really abrupt. I liked what was happening when it ended, but I think I wanted a little more resolution than that. But overall, the message of the bond of a mother and a daughter, how deep that runs, so good, and I think made this book what it was. Oh, I also wanted to mention there's some like outdated language in this book that I'm not a fan of. Like, a couple times in the book they refer to somebody like only by their race, or the discussion around mental health is not it. But overall, those weren't major parts of the book, and they aren't in the movie. Like I said, the husband being awful, not in the movie. So that's why all the things I love about the movie are in the movie. All the things I hate about the book are not in there. So I think that's why I love the movie so much. I would give this book a shot knowing those things. I think it's still a really good story. It's fun. The fact that it's like a, not a whodunit, but like a mystery the whole time, I think is really interesting. And then having that mother-daughter bond run throughout, especially from Bea's perspective. So overall, I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. I think it sits more at like a 3.5, 3.75. If I could rate books that way. So yeah, I would say if this book sounds interesting to you, I would try it. Definitely know that it's flawed though. It's not without its flaws. As for my next read, I'm thinking of doing Killjoy next because it's a novella. It's short. I could probably dive into this tonight and finish it. Snow update. We're at about 2 inches solidly now. Anyway, this will probably be the next thing you hear from me about. Made a quick decision to take Benny on a snow walk, and it's not too cold actually. The air is cold in my face, but I wasn't gonna take him because it's actively snowing and he's probably getting wet, so it's just gonna be short. But I've always loved snow. It's hard to resist, and each year we've gotten less and less, and this is the first year we've gotten snow period, let alone more than one snow, let alone a big snow. So I feel like I have to take advantage of every opportunity. Hello, party people. Time to dive into this. It is 9:15, time to rot in bed and read. I started this, but I only read like 10 pages. If you have not read the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, you need to. It's my favorite thriller, hands down. I don't know if it's my favorite series, I've never thought that far, but jaw-dropping, fantastically written books, and this is a prequel to those books. So like before she starts really investigating murders, she participates in a solving murder party. So this is only like 120 pages. I think I'm gonna try and read it all in one sitting if I can keep my eyes open. That's a big if for me. I read in bed. Chances are I'm not staying awake. But I'm excited to get into this. Holly Jackson's writing is so good. I love Pippa, their friend group. I love the way her mind works. She's so smart. I was telling my mom at dinner, I so wish I could read those books for the first time again. I mean, those books had me the definition of gagged, okay? Like, I don't think this will have that full effect because it's just a novella, but I'm so excited to get back into all that stuff. Snow update, because I'm your weather reporter now apparently. We've gotten about 4 inches today. I think my weather app predicted just 2 more overnight. Oh, now it's gone up to 3 inches in the next 24 hours. Potentially 7 inches is a lot of snow for us. Tomorrow I do actually have to work from home, whereas today I did not. Today it was like just a snow day, so I was able to rot, watch TV, and read. Tomorrow I do have to do a little more work, but I'm still hoping to get this done tonight and start First Time Caller tomorrow. Hopping into bed, and I will see you tomorrow. As I suspected, I could not stay up and read the whole thing last night. I read about 40 pages last night, and then I was falling asleep with the book in my hand. So I woke up this morning and finished it first thing. It was good. I rated it 4 stars. It's a novella, so I feel like I'm not rating it against other whole books. I'm rating it against other novellas, which I haven't even read one, so this is my first one, and I rated it 4 stars. I thought it was pretty good. Like I said yesterday, the whole friend group is attending a murder mystery party. You can definitely see Holly Jackson's like suspense coming in, but like the whole time you know it's a murder mystery party, so there's not really any real suspense. I like seeing more of the inner workings of their friend group before things get a little crazy. I thought it was fun. There were like sprinkles and nods to things that happened later, and this book kind of does set up what happens later. I thought the ending was good. I did feel like at first it was like a little bit like try hard, but then I was like, no, it does kind of make sense. Like Pip has that intuition, you know, like she was made for this. So I ultimately liked it. I enjoyed it. Thought it was fun. I probably won't keep this copy. It's not one I feel like I would ever come back to, but I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I read it. I feel like this series feels complete now. I actually do have to work today, unfortunately. I do get to work from home because of the snow, but do have to work. I am gonna try and squeeze in some pages of First Time Caller. I'm really excited about that. I will update you later and give you an actual synopsis of First Time Caller. Okay, it's another day. I did not check in with you for the rest of the day, but I did start First Time Caller last night right before I went to bed, and I read about 50 pages of it. I don't have it here for you, sorry. So far, it's very good. It's easy to read, it's funny, it reminds me of Emily Henry in the way that it just immediately feels like a real world, real people. So far so good. I can already feel, especially on Lucy's side, family aspect of it. Like she's a best friend, she has her ex-husband and co-parent, his husband, that are all like within her close-knit circle who feel so real. Like I said, everything I've read I can envision so easily in my head. I'm enjoying it so much so far. The ratings for this book have been so good, so I'm hoping I enjoy it as much as everyone else. There's still snow on the ground. It's starting to melt. It's only 35 degrees out, but it's quite sunny, so a lot of it's melting. I still got 3 days off out of it, so again, yesterday I wasn't able to read anything but at night because I had to work during the day. That's gonna be the same case for today. I did just read like 20 pages before I came up here to film this, but I probably won't be able to pick it up again until nighttime. But I'll let you know if we have any crazy revelations or anything. I'm gonna put the dust jacket here. The aesthetic that is on this cover is just, it's everything. It feels like fan art. I feel like we don't see covers like this in a lot of books. So good. Okay, so I'm reading. Aiden is trying to convince Lucy to be on the show and by proxy convince him that love is real again. And she is like, I don't know, you wouldn't make fun of me, because he makes a couple jokes like, we'll find you your Prince Charming. Like, he's not taking it seriously. She's like, you won't make fun of me, right? And he's like, you think I'd make fun of you? I promise I would never do that. This isn't a joke to me. And in real life, would I believe a man that said that? No, because he's doing this for his job. But do I believe Aiden? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I believe what he says. He's for real. I know who he is. They're in the studio together and she's like too far away. So he grabs her chair and pulls it close to him. Also, another thing that's crazy that I think this book is portraying very well, the main characters are like sick of the dating scene, trying that whole thing, but it also feels like everyone else in their life had such success with it. It was so easy. But then when those feelings, those concerns are aired, the feelings of being exhausted, the feelings of I'm not sure if love is real, then when those are aired, there's some people who come out of the woodworks and are like, oh my gosh, that's exactly how I feel. I lose hope sometimes. It's just a good reminder that this is a book, but these are also real feelings that I can relate to. That's how I feel sometimes. And I think it's easy to forget that there's literally millions of people out there and that's not everyone's story. AKA I'm loving this book. Please don't mind the fact that I've just woken up. She's getting set up on a date. She texts him, he's gonna show up for her instead. Hello. This book, I'm obsessed, okay? It's just, I never read a book before I'm done with it, but let's just say I'm loving this. Loving this. I put the cover back on. I don't really read with it on ever because I'm afraid I'll mess it up, but I put it on for this because it is so beautiful. I am on page 266. Things are getting serious. The hype is real. I get the hype. I support the hype. I am on the train. Have I given you a synopsis? I don't think I have. First time caller. Is about Aiden and Lucy. Aiden is a radio host for like a romance themed hotline show, and Lucy is a mechanic and she is a single mom to a 12-year-old. This is a Sleepless in Seattle retelling. I don't know if I've said that before, but basically he hosts a show. Her daughter calls in, if you've seen the movie, you know, and tells him that she's lonely, she needs a partner. And then she catches her and she's like, what are you doing? And so she talks on the phone, just like in the movie. And then the whole world, or actually really just all of their locale, Boston, is falling in love with her and they want her on the show. So they bring her on the show. And they have chemistry, of course. I mean, look at the cover. But the show is about finding her a match. And of course, he's not gonna admit that he wants to be that match. So she's going on dates. He's not loving that. They're talking about on the show, they're bantering. It's amazing. The community that they're in, like all his coworkers are so funny. Her baby daddy and his husband and her daughter are so lovely. I think all the characters feel so real and fleshed out, which I think is a huge plus in my book. I always love that about a book. These two go together so well. Their banter is amazing. Give me good banter and I'm sold, pretty much. I am at the point now we're turning a corner. I won't say what that corner is, but we're turning a corner. Things are escalating. They've been a little more vulnerable with each other, but both of them have been through some pretty significant things, very different things, but both significant. And they were already good and well fleshed out characters, but that gave so much more to the story, even though it's like really a C plot. It's not that big of a deal, but just including that and part of their vulnerability was so... I wish I could finish it tonight. It's already 9:45 and I'm back to real life work tomorrow, which means I actually have to get up early and like get dressed and do the whole thing. I'm gonna stay up as long as I can, not too late, which we know I can't stay up anyway. I will bid you good night. I will update you tomorrow with where I am, my thoughts. I have no negative thoughts at this point. Obsessed. Okay, hey, hi, hello. The snow is melted. I finished First Time Caller, and I just want to update you before I go. This ended up being a 4.5 for me. I really thought it was going to be a 5, and there was just a couple things about it that made it not a 5, but it also wasn't a 4. Like it's so much better written than a 4, and these characters are so much better than a 4, but there were also things that made it not a 5, if that makes sense. Things I loved: these characters are everything to me. Their personal relationships, especially Lucy's. I feel like we don't see as much of Aiden's, but Lucy's are so good. I loved the whole radio station thing. I loved them working together. I loved her being a mechanic. I thought was a really interesting career choice, and even the people she worked with were super likable. I felt the setting was super rich. I've never been to Boston, but I found myself really enjoying them talking about the setting in this book. The chemistry and the banter was off the charts, so good. I liked that Lucy was like a quirkier person, but she was still sure of herself, and finding that in a relationship, finding her confidence in a relationship, I think so interesting to read. My issues: this man right here. Love him, but he needed a therapist way sooner than he got one. Holy cow, it was starting to take me off. There is a third act breakup, but it's like in the 11th hour, okay? It's like almost like a fourth act breakup, okay? Like we're nearing the end of the story, and I mean, we're on the last few chapters, and I don't like that about a book. I want there to be time for them, things to feel resolved effectively, and I felt like things broke down and wrapped up really quickly in the end. Ugh, I really did enjoy that. And Aiden, he really needed to like get his life together sooner than he did. I felt like it was almost unrealistic that she put up with it for so long, because it was getting on my nerves. It probably should have been getting on hers a little bit more. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was going to be like a favorite, like end up on this shelf right here, and it's not quite got that level of je ne sais quoi. But it was still really good. I really recommend you read this if you're interested in it at all. I think it would be a really good read. People are loving it, and I think people are right. I'm right. Everyone who's reading this is right. This is a good book. Like I said, the snow is melted. Our reading staycation is over. So thanks for being snowed in with me, and I will see you next time.